Yo, yo, what's up, everybody? It's me, Jay. I haven't been, I haven't made a video in a really long time. So I decided before I take a little nap for the day, I'll make a video, talk about some autism, maybe even talk about NFTs and art. So anyway, yesterday was Easter, and it wasn't a good day. My son woke up and just had an attitude because it was Easter, and he knew he wasn't going to be going over grandma's house to see cousins and eat dinner and all that. He knew he wasn't going to do that. So he got really upset. And he was pacing, gagging himself, just terrible stuff, just terrible stuff. So finally, after hours and hours of that, I finally got him to calm down. And I tried my best to explain to him that, people just fake, man. Like, people really just be on some fake shit. Even family, man, they just be on some fake shit. And it's just me and him. And it's always gonna be just me and him. And I got his back, and I'm gonna make sure, every holiday come around, I'm gonna make sure I can do the best that it can be. You know what I mean? Like, because we don't get invited anywhere. We don't get invited to no holiday stuff. We don't get invited to cookouts and picnics and birthday parties. Like, we don't get invited to any of that. My son actually got invited to his first birthday party last year. And the only reason he got invited to that because it was a kid from his class having a birthday party. So he went to that. And that's like the legit first birthday party my son ever went to. And he's 14 years old. That's the first time he ever got invited to a birthday party. And he's 14 years old. So it was just a really rough day, you know. Just and my son's older now, so like I said, he's 14, so he's starting to realize, how fake people are, especially when people call and want to talk. Like, when my family don't really call. We have a couple of family members that might call every so often. But even when they call, they talk all this good shit and they get my son all hyped up and this and that. But then when it's time for the get together for holidays and all this, they just ignore them. They forget about them. They don't invite them anywhere. They don't invite me anywhere. And I'm not gonna just pop up over their houses and all this type shit, cause my family's crazy, man. I'm not about to do no shit like that. I'm not even gonna put my son in that type of situation. It's not good. That's not good to do. It would turn out very bad. So finally, I got him calmed down, and he wanted pizza, and I made him his pizzas. He liked those French bread pizzas, so I made those yesterday morning. He ate them, and after we talked and I calmed him down and he ate and everything, then the day started to get all right. We went out on the porch and he painted a little bit, and I was just hanging out watching him. He played in the little dirt and stuff like that. And then after a while, we just both fell asleep. Like, we fell asleep literally at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, bro. It was 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, some shit like that. And we ended up waking up at like 11 o'clock at night. I was like, oh shit, oh shit. Cause we ended up being up all night, all the way till my son left for school, man. And he went to school at 6:30. So we ended up staying up from 11 o'clock at night all the way up to this morning to like 6:30 till he went to school. Because we messed up and went to bed super early yesterday. Luckily, he slept so much that when he did wake up at 11 o'clock yesterday night, he was full of energy, ready to go. So staying up all night really didn't affect him that much. So now he's at school, and he's coming home around 12:30 because he got himself put on half days because his behavior hasn't been good. So, and when I say his behavior hasn't been good, it's just when he's in school, he doesn't like to wait for anything. So when he has to wait his turn, or when the teacher say he has to wait for something, he just goes off, starts scratching people, swatting at people, pushing the other kids. Just and he's not doing any of that intentionally. He gets upset because he doesn't understand the concept of having to wait. He just doesn't understand it. So he's not intentionally hurting anybody. He's just trying to express that he is displeased with having to wait. And he doesn't know the words to actually use to say he's displeased with having to wait. So he lashes out and he scratches and he hits and he kicks. And because of all that, they decided that he should just do half days for a while. And then if he does good on the half days, then they'll bring him back and he can do full days again. So as of right now, he's just on half days. So he comes home at 12:30, which throws a wrench in my whole thing because I can't get nothing done. If he's coming home at 12:30, that literally gives me 5 hours. 5 hours. Five. To get everything done for the day that I need to get done because once he comes home at 12:30, it's all about him. I cannot do anything because it's all about him. I cannot be on the phone. I cannot do anything because it's him. Everything I do, he has to be a part of it. And if he's not a part of it, it becomes a problem. So him coming home at 12:30 just makes everything that much more stressful because I have a very limited time to get everything done. This is another reason why I choose not to be in spaces all morning long when my son's in school because I have shit to do. I have shit to do. I have a lot of shit to do. Damn near every day. So I can't sit in spaces for fucking an hour, 2 hours, because I only have 5 fucking hours to do everything. I'm not trying to sit in no space for no 2 hours and probably don't get called up to speak, probably won't sell shit. That'd be just fucking an hour or two wasted that I could have did something really productive with. You see what I'm saying? So just this whole thing, like my son being coming home early and his behavior's been all erratic and all this, and a lot of it has to do with puberty because he's 14, so he's going through puberty too. So my life is like very, very, very stressful, like very stressful. And sometimes when I'm on Twitter, I just lose it when I start reading stupid shit. Like when I start reading stupid shit, I just lose it, man. Because a lot of times I'm tired, I'm stressed out, and I'm just trying to do the best I could do, man. And sometimes my best just ain't good enough. It's just not. And I can admit that, you know. I try. I try my best every single day, man. Sometimes I'm successful and come up with some good shit. Most times I strike out and don't come up with nothing. And then I gotta explain to my son while I ain't come up with nothing and he don't understand. He don't really fucking care, you know. So it's just stressful, man, like all the time. And, you know, I get just burnt out, man. I've been burnt out so many times over the years. I've hit burnt out so many times over the years. Just trying to do everything, keeping everything float every day, you know. It's really hard, man, because I'm the one up in here responsible for every single thing, you know, rent, light bills, internet bills, phone bills, food, transportation to get him to doctors and therapists where he needs to go, all that, man. And it all costs money, you know. None of that shit's free. None. And I'm the one that got to come up with this every single day. That's why I'm on Twitter pushing the art like I do. You know, we don't like we make art. We always made art. We made art ever since my son was just a baby. You know, finger painting, all that shit. um, we used to go around, just walk around the neighborhood, you know, selling prints, um, just going to festivals, going to the mall, setting up kiosks, all that. We did all that, you know, selling art, man, selling physical paintings, physical drawings, finger paints, all that. But when the NFT stuff came around, you know, I was like, all right, cool, you know, this is cool. You know, we could just sell them as NFTs and then I ain't got to be dragging my son out into the streets every day, hustling and all that. But it didn't work out like that. It just didn't. And I know it ain't us. It's not our art. For a long time, I was blaming myself, beating myself up every day, you know, because I just didn't understand like why the art wasn't selling. You know what I mean? And I would literally just beat myself up every single night, man. Like my son would go to sleep, and I would just sit by myself and just really, really just beat myself up mentally. Like damn, man. Like, what am I doing wrong, man? Like, I'm just trying to be myself, I'm not hurting nobody, man. I'm just being myself, you know what I mean? But after a while, I started to realize, it's not me. It's not my son. It's the NFT community, and it's how they roll, and it's what they do. And it's not us. It's not my son. It's not me. And the thing that really bugs me the most about the whole thing is every day these people come on here, man, and they preach that positivity bullshit and community bullshit, and they gonna support this and they support that, but it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. They want you to be in spaces all day, every day. They want you to kiss ass and retweet this and buy into their fucking things and buy into their dials and all this bullshit. And it really be for nothing. It just be for nothing, man. Now, don't get me wrong, though. Over the last 2 years, my son and I have sold a lot of art. We've sold a lot of NFTs, bro. Like, we've sold literally, the last time I checked, it was like around 150 NFTs that we sold together. So we've sold some stuff, man. But it's nothing that's life changing though. You know what I mean? Like it's no life changing stuff. And it's really sad because I'm trying to do all this for my son, man. Like I'm not trying to reap anything from this stuff now. I'm just not. All this stuff I'm doing with the art and all that, this is for my son's future. This is for him. So when he grows up, he's not stressed out about money and bills like I am. I don't want my son to have to go through that because he has enough struggles on his own with just being autistic and having ADHD and epilepsy and all that. So he already has a bunch of strikes against him already. So when he grows up, I don't want my son to be, worrying about paying his rent or worrying about paying bills or worrying about where he gonna get food from and this and that. That's the whole reason I put these collections together. And so hopefully when he grows up and if I'm not around anymore, he'll have an income coming in to take care of him. That's the whole point. But the people in NFTs, they don't care about any of that. They don't care about any of that. They just don't. They just don't. It's weird, man. It's just they just don't care. They just don't care. And it's like I get really, really irritated too because man, I come on Twitter and I see people selling art. I see the same people selling art every single day. And it's like, come on, man. It's like y'all literally buying art from the same people, like every day. Like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck? And it's Autism Awareness Month. It's like, what the fuck, bro? It's Autism Awareness Month. My son is autistic and he's an artist. And can't nobody even buy the boy art. Come on, man. Like, can't nobody buy the boy art. And he has multiple collections of all prices. So price is not an issue. It's not an issue. You know what I'm saying? The issue is collectors want us to be in spaces. And since we don't go in spaces, we don't got nothing coming. Like we have a couple of people that will buy our art just because they like what I do and they like me coming on Twitter advocating for autism every day and I got the website and I make videos and I got a podcast and I write blogs and all that. So I do a lot of stuff for the autism community. So I do have collectors. They're not necessarily involved in the autism community, but they just respect what I do every day. So every once in a while, they'll pick up a piece of art for me or my son or whatever. But I mean, that's cool. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that for real. But at the same time, man, it's like there's so many people that just ignore what we do. And it's just crazy to me. It's like, how can you just ignore what we do? Like, it's insane, man. It's just really insane, you know? And I just feel really bad for my son because him being autistic, a lot of this shit, he just don't get it. He just doesn't get it, man. And then he gets sad, then he gets upset. And, you know, a couple times he quit making art altogether just because he felt like wasn't nobody appreciate the shit he do. And it's like, it's just heartbreaking, man. It's really, really heartbreaking to watch a little boy put his all into making some art and then put it up for sale and people just ignore the shit because they just ignore the shit because he's a kid. So they write the shit off as, oh, he's just a kid just making art. He's gonna grow out of it or whatever. He's not. The boy is an artist. He loves to make art, is what the fuck he does. Like, people don't understand, man. My son literally has stacks, like literally stacks of physical paintings because he paints damn near every single day. He's an artist, man. He's a legit artist. But people, they'll overlook him, they'll ignore him or whatever because they on some bullshit, you know. And it's like on Twitter, man. I ain't gonna call no names, you know, cause I ain't about to put nobody on blast or nothing like that. But on Twitter, people really think that me and my son should be like this other dad and son that's on Twitter. And they're in spaces every single day. Now, I can't say what, that dad is doing with his kid or whatever. But I know I can't be in spaces with my son like that because he doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand what's going on. He doesn't understand you have to, be called onto the stage and wait your turn to talking. Like, he just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand it and he doesn't like it. And the last time we was on spaces, it was just a real terrible experience for him because some collector told him that he was gonna buy Seamus's art. And the dude stalled Seamus out for 2 days, like 2 whole days. He stalled this dude out. And the only reason he bought Seamus's art is because I went on Twitter and started blasting his ass for stalling the boy out. So eventually he bought his art, but then the dude sent me a bunch of fuck messages telling me, oh, you're not controlling your kid, and oh, you're not a good dad because you're letting your kid hurt itself, and it's not my fault. I had things to do, man. I had to go hang with my mom at the beach and all this bullshit. And it's like, come on, bro. You on spaces, buying art on spaces. But when my son comes up, you got to stall him out for 2 days and then gonna blame me when he's having a meltdown because this motherfucker stalled him out for 2 whole days? Like, is you serious? You really serious with this? And that's what happened. I told the dude, like, hey man, my son's over here banging his head in the walls and shit because he's waiting on you to buy his art and you said you was gonna buy it. But dude flipped on me, flipped it all around, blamed me, blamed my son, put us on the block list, non-buying list and all that. And that's the real reason why my son don't like spaces no more, because the dude played his ass out. But he didn't come on Twitter. He didn't tell his community any of that though. No, he didn't tell his community none of that. He made it out like I was the asshole, like I was the ungrateful motherfucker in all this. And it's like, nah, bro, you played my son big time. We on Spaces, and you up there calling up all these women, you buying their art on the spot, trying to impress them and all this. My little son come up and you tell him you gonna buy his art, but you don't buy it on the spot. You stall this dude out for 2 days. Like, that's that bullshit. And a lot of these collectors do that bullshit. They do. They do that bullshit, man. You know, a lot of these collectors, they buy up all the women's art because they trying to impress the women and they trying to get with them and all that kind of stuff. And it's just the whole thing. It's just a mess. Like, it's just a complete mess. I don't like it. I don't like being a part of it. I just don't, because that's not how I roll personally. You know, I feel like everybody should be supported if they're putting out quality stuff. Everybody should be supported if they're putting in hours and hours and hours of work into whatever they're doing. You shouldn't sit back and pick and choose who you want to support just because you trying to impress somebody. And that's what most of these collectors are doing. They're just buying art trying to impress people. That's why you have all these collectors on Twitter that come and talk about support women in NFTs and this and that, and all they buy is women's art and all that. And that's cool. You know, that's cool. Yeah. Support women artists. Yes, of course. Me and my son are 100% all about supporting women artists, disabled artists, minority artists. We're all about that. All about it. But we're also not doing it to impress nobody. We're not buying art to impress anybody. We're not buying art to get a girlfriend. We're not buying art to have people kiss our ass every day. Like, that ain't why we doing this. We just doing it trying to support and help people. This the same reason I come on Twitter and do the coffee giveaways sometimes. I'm not doing that shit to impress nobody. I'm not doing that shit to make myself look like I'm something that I'm not. I'm just the average guy, man, that happens to have a disabled son, and he doesn't have nobody else but me. And I'm trying my best to just really show my son how to be a man, and what men do, and how men treat people, and how you earn respect, and how you become a man and be respected and all that. That's what I'm trying to show my son. I'm not trying to show my son how to hustle nobody. I'm not trying to show him how to con nobody or get over on nobody, because I don't want that for my son. I don't want him to be that way. I don't want him to learn that kind of stuff. I don't want my son to be street savvy. I don't want my son to be a hustler. I don't want my son to be any of that. I want my son to be an upstanding citizen that helps people and genuinely cares about people. That's my goal, is to make my son that way. The total opposite of how I grew up. I grew up in the streets. I grew up doing all kind of stupid, dumb shit. I was homeless a few times. I was in jail a bunch of times. I've been in trouble for decades. Like, I literally got in trouble for decades and decades and decades. I lost tons of stuff. I've lost tons of friends. I've lost people that I cared about and loved about. And that's kind of life. That's not the life I want for my son, man. I want my son to just be the best version of himself that he could be every day. So that's why I do what I do every day. That's why I come on Twitter and I try my best to talk positive to people and give people advice and try to pull the veil off of people's eyes and let them see the truth about what's going on. So maybe they can open their eyes and understand why they're so stressed out every day, why things ain't working out the way they should work out. It's not you, it's not me, it's the world. And we have to understand the world isn't always fair. The world doesn't always play by the rules. The world sometimes favors the wrong people. And this is stuff that we have to understand as people. It doesn't matter if we talk all the good shit. It doesn't matter if we do all the positive shit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because the way of the world is, people are going to be influenced by people who have influence. I'm going to say that again. People are going to be influenced by people who have influence. A lot of people online that have influence have absolutely no knowledge. No knowledge. They just don't. They talk a lot of stupid, dumb shit. They don't have any knowledge. You have people on Twitter with huge followings. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of people. But they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything with the platforms, man. They're just on Twitter every day, just posting giveaways, posting shield threads for art, hosting spaces. Like, they're not actually putting out nothing of substance. And the stuff that they do put out, most of it be bullshit. Most of it be wrong information. Most of it be propaganda. Most of it just be some fake ass shit altogether. And this is the thing that we have to understand about being online. Not everything online is right. Not everything online is true. Not everything online is real. And not everything online is what you actually think it is. A lot of this shit is made up. A lot of this shit is fake. A lot of this shit is scripted. And a lot of it is just for likes, comments, and engagement. When these people log off of Twitter or whatever they do, they going back to their real life, not giving a fuck about who's on Twitter, who's saying what, who doing what. Twitter is just an app, man. It's just an app on the fucking phone. You know what I'm saying? It's not no real life shit. It's not no real life shit. I know a lot of people in my real life. I know a lot of people. They not all friends, but I know a lot of people, a lot of acquaintances, because I've been around my city for damn near 50 years, and I know a lot of people around my city because I've been in my city for a very long time, and I've been active in the streets for a very long time, and I know a lot of people. And most of the people that I do know, that I might run across to or talk to or whatever, these people have no idea of what NFTs are. A lot of people that I fuck with from the streets and all that, they don't even know what Twitter is. They don't even have a Twitter. They're not even online. I have cousins right now that's the same age as me. These dudes ain't online, period. They're not on Twitter. They're not on Facebook. They don't have emails. They like nothing. They still living like it's the 80s and 90s. And I know a lot of people like this. And this is like with the NFT thing, it's not mainstream. And it's never gonna go mainstream. Cause it's too much fake shit. It's too much fake shit, man. It's not gonna ever go mainstream like people think it is. Nah, cause it's too much fake shit. The only way NFTs gonna get regulated is if, I don't even know. There have to be like, somebody would have to step in, right? And just change the whole thing. Change it all the way around and give it some type of structure. Cause right now, the NFT community is like the wild, wild west. Everybody's out for themselves. Everybody trying to get their own ETH. It's like the gold rush. It's literally like the gold rush, like the California gold rush from like 100 some years ago. Yeah, that's exactly what NFTs are like now. It's like that California gold rush from the 1800s where everybody rushing to California, trying to get their hands on that gold, trying to get rich, trying to set up their shit or whatever. This is what's happening in NFTs, bro. It's just like the California gold rush. You have all these people coming in And lots of not even artists. You just got people coming in, man, that's just putting apps on their phone, just making any type of shit, putting it out, hoping to sell. Cause that's how it is, you know. It's no structure. There's no rules. It's no structure. It's nothing. It's just people making whatever they want to make, putting it on these marketplaces up for sale. Like that's all it is. You know what I mean? There's no real structure or nothing like that. So that's another reason to take this all the way back to autism, because all of what I just said, this is the main reason why my son just shies away from the whole thing now. He still makes his physical art. He still sells art, physical pieces. You know what I mean? Um, but as far as the NFT shit, it's just it's not what people think it is. It's just not what people think it is. And it's just sad, man. It's just really, really sad. You know what I mean? But anyway, enough about that bullshit. So that's what's going on with my son and the art and school and NFTs or whatever. And this summer he's going to be going to extended school year, right? So extended school year is kind of like summer school, but not really. It's just more or less an extension of school. So when all the other regular kids finish school for the summer, my son will take like a 1 week break and then he'll go right back to school. And he'll go to school for like 3 days a week, a couple hours a day, just to get himself acclimated to going to high school or, you know, to go to high school, right? So this year, he goes to extended school year every year. This year, though, it's going to be a lot different because he's going to be getting prepared to go into high school. And now that he's put on half days, the high school is going to start sending transportation over here in the afternoons to pick me and him up. And they're going to take us to the high school and let us hang out, eat lunch, walk around, talk to the teachers and all that. So my son is in a very, very, very good school district. Like very good, extremely good. You know. And I did that, you know. I did that. I brought him out here, me, by myself. I did that. I moved us from the ghetto all the way out here to this great, fabulous neighborhood that we live in. I got my son in that school that he goes to. I did that. And I can say I did that because I did that. And I can feel good about that because I did that. I can be proud of that because I did that. I did that. I made that happen. And that's just all I'm really trying to do is give my son a heads up, man. Just give him a fighting chance to be something in his life. You know what I mean? And I never got them chances, bro. I never got them chances, man. I never got chances to reach my full potential when I was a kid. I was never encouraged to do stuff when I was a kid. Everything I was taught growing up was just how to hustle, get money, be in the streets and all that. That's what I was taught growing up. I'm not teaching my son any of that. I don't teach my son no street stuff. No, no, no. My son is 14. He does not hang in the streets. He does not listen to rap music. He doesn't know what the fuck a gun even looks like. And I keep it that way, and I do it on purpose that way, because all of that stuff he doesn't need to know about because it's negative and it's only going to bring negative consequences. Everything I teach my son is on the up and up, positive, everything. I'm not a very positive person myself, but I make damn sure I teach my son to be positive about things. I teach my son to do the right things every day. I teach my son to be respectful. I teach my son to be loving and caring and to help people. Pretty much the opposite of what the fuck I do. But I'm just a regular guy, man, you know, trying to do right by my son. trying to give him a chance to be something better than me. Be something better than me. Be something better than the old man. Be a better guy than me. That's all I want for my son, man. That's all. That is absolutely it. It breaks my heart, man, when the dude wants to be a part of something and people just ignore him. It really breaks my heart because he's a sweet kid and he just wants to be accepted. He just wants to be a part of something. That's it. That's all. And I just feel really bad because a lot of people won't take the time out and have the patience to deal with him and to teach him and to be with him and to show him things. I do, but I'm his daddy. That's what I'm supposed to do. It would be really nice if other people would do the same, not just for my kid, for all autistic kids or autistic individuals that's grown or whatever. The one thing I've learned over these years raising my son is this: he's autistic, but he's not dumb. He's autistic. He's not dumb. My son is very smart. He's very intelligent. He just does things in his own way, the way that makes him comfortable. Because being comfortable is a big obstacle for my son. So a lot of times he'll do things that appear to be strange, or he'll do things that's not, that's out of the ordinary, or that's not inside the box, or whatever you want to say. And the reason he does stuff like that is because he's trying to get things done, but he's trying to be comfortable as possible while he's doing what he has to do. So a lot of times he'll exhibit behavior that might seem strange or abnormal or just weird, but it's none of that. It's not strange. It's not abnormal. It's not weird. It's my son being who he is, trying to navigate this world the best he can. And he don't need a bunch of assholes telling him he's wrong. He don't need a bunch of grown, dumbass motherfuckers telling him what he's doing is wrong. No. My son does what he has to do. Does he always do the right thing? No. Does he always follow directions? No. He's also 14. He's also a teenager. So yeah, he's autistic and all that, but he's also a teenager. You know what I mean? He's also a teenager, man. So yeah, he's not gonna listen all the time. He's gonna be defiant. He's gonna want to fight me and all that. Cause he's a teenager. That's what teenagers do. And I'm cool with all that. My son going through puberty, that's great. Great. I get to watch my son go through puberty. I get to watch my son grow up. I get to watch my son get his little mustache coming in. I get to watch him walk around the house with his shirt off, flexing his little bird chest like he getting ready to do something. And I'm cool with all of it because this is what I wanted, bro. This is what I wanted. This is what I fought for all them years. Going to court all them years. Going back and forth over his mom's house, getting jumped on, getting shot at. I went through all that to give my son what I never had. I'm a real one with this. I'm a real one, bro. For real. And a lot of times, just get really upset, get really aggravated, and get really irritated. Because all I want is for this dude to just live his best life. That's it. I don't want him to struggle. I've been struggling my whole life, man. I'm 49 years old, bro. You know how fucked up it is to struggle for 49 years? It's terrible. It's terrible. I've been broke for so long, I don't know nothing else. All I know is being broke. All I know is trying to come up with shit every day. Like, that's all I know, man. I don't know anything else. I don't know what it's like to have money in the bank. Never had a bank account. I'm 49 years old, dude. I never had a bank account in my life. But all my shit is just fucked up. But I'm trying my best to make sure my son's shit ain't fucked up, dog. I'm making sure everything he do is legit. I'm gonna make sure that dude gets him a bank account, a real bank account, all that. Get him a job, all that. I keep him out of the street, keep him out of the gang shit, keep him away from the drug shit. Just keep him away from all of that. Everything that I even feel will be detrimental to his well being, he's not being involved in it at all. At all. And a lot of times, I'll run into guys when we out, me and my son out walking around, whatever. A lot of times, I'll run into guys from the street that I know, and they'll start telling Lil Shame it's all about me and what I did and what I do and all that, but I have to stop it. I'm like, nah, bro. Mm-mm. He don't need to know that. He don't need to know that, bro. Don't. Just don't. You think you bragging on me, you think you trying to make the little boy look up to me and all that, and that might be true, but I don't want him looking at me like that. I don't want him looking at me like I'm the street dude, like I'm the dude that he wants to be. Like, nah, man. No, 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 no. So every time something like that happens, I have to cut them dudes short. I have to be like, nah, bro, don't even do that. Don't tell my son that. Don't tell him what I used to do. Don't just don't, man. Don't do that. And it's part of I guess keeping them in a little bubble or whatever. But that's what I have to do. That's just what I have to do. And by my son being autistic and also being a mixed kid, because my son is mixed, he's half black, half white. But if you look at him, you can tell he's mixed. He ain't all the way white. So that's another reason why I try my best to teach him right from wrong, to teach him always do right, always be respectful, don't break laws, don't steal, don't take shit, don't fight, don't none of that. Because my biggest fear really is my son. My biggest fear really is my son getting in trouble and getting a police call, and then the police come and they don't know how to handle him. And before you know it, some really fucked up bad shit happens. I've seen it happen. And I'm not trying to have that happen to my son like that. So, you know, I'm just trying my best. Just trying my best. That's why I write all them blogs trying to educate people about autism. That's why I made that little collection, the Dudley Does collection that I had. That was had the little stories with it about the little autistic boy and what he does and during the daytime and little activities he do. I do all this stuff with the autism to educate people about kids like my son, because a lot of people don't understand kids like my son. They think when they hear autism, they think he's a genius or he's like super, super intelligent and all this kind of shit. And it's like, nah, man, no, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. You know what I mean? It's different levels to this shit. You have people that's high functioning. These are the ones that's on Twitter that can write tweets and can comprehend and can do that kind of shit. Then you have people that's like in the middle. They really can't be on Twitter, but they also are able to express themselves and work and do things like that. But then you have people like my son that's at the bottom of the spectrum. These are the people that's constantly forgot about. These are the people that's ignored every day. These are the people that's in the hospitals constantly, that's always in the emergency rooms, that's always going to some kind of therapy, that always needs hands-on everything, every day. Those are the ones that's forgotten about. Those are the ones that ends up in the nursing homes and the group homes and end up being neglected and beat on and disrespected because nobody understands and they're always ignored. Nobody really wants to learn. On Twitter, you know, people don't want to hear about kids like my son. They want to hear the feel good, happy shit. They want to hear the success stories. They want to hear about the good moments and the good times, which, to be honest with you, it's not that many. It's not that many good times. It's not that many fun times. It's just not. That's the reality of the situation. My son struggles. He struggles so much with every little thing that a lot of times I sit back and just watch him do stuff and it literally breaks my heart because I watch him just try to do simple things and he struggles. He just struggles. And it breaks my heart, man. You know, because I know people are never going to truly understand him. They're just not. They're not going to truly understand him. And I get that. But it also fucks me up and it breaks my heart and it really pisses me off. It just does. It really does. And that's pretty much it. You know, I just wanted to come on here, man. I ain't made a video in a really long time. And just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all, man. You know, make this little video, get some shit off my chest, you know, talk. Anyway, my son's going to school. It's a nice, beautiful day outside, sun shining. I've been up all night. I'm really tired. The sun's starting to come out. I'm gonna go ahead and lay down and take me a little nap for a couple hours, and that's gonna be it for me. So I hope you guys have a good, blessed day, and I hope everything works out for you the way you want it to. And I'm gonna holler at you a little later. Peace.